Okay, we were doing the movement guide today. Everyone asked for this shit. It's like 50 of these out there already, so I'm kind of just gonna go over the shit that I do every day, whenever I play. And hopefully you can learn some shit, apply it to your game, get better. That's what it's all about. Game's more fun when you're good. But yeah, I'm gonna do it all in one take. It's probably gonna feel like it's all over the place and shit, but that's how I do shit. And I'm gonna bounce back and forth a lot, but I'll put in-game examples for all the shit I'm talking about. And on like half the shit I got a controller cam. So yeah, it's kind of oriented towards the controller kids, but if you're on M&K, you're probably a nerd and you're smart enough to do the button conversions yourself. But yeah, objective of the video is to teach you how to move around a little bit, avoid taking damage, because your health is a resource. It's really important. And the longer you're fighting, because you're healthy, the more damage you can deal. And yeah, movement's pretty fucking important. But one thing I'm going to touch on that I feel like none of those other videos did is you get stunned when you take damage for like a brief moment. And if you do movement tech before you take damage, you're just going to get fucking frozen in time. And you're going to get beamed out in the open. So I'm going to make it really important, or make a really important point to show you that you kind of have to get shot before you can do any of this crazy shit. Because after you get shot, you have like a 3-second window to do whatever you want. So yeah, all the tech I'm going to show you at this point is like subconscious and shit. It's just shit you normally do. You got to get really good at it to get to that point, but pretty much the only thing I actively pay attention to when I'm in game is if I took that damage that I was telling you about. Because you get shot one time and you can move like a fucking madman for a good little window. I'll throw in some fucking Steam controller config shit for you nerds, so you can tab strafe. And if you're on Origin, pretty sure you can use antimicro, and it does the same exact thing. But if you're trying to compete in this game, you're not allowed to use that. It's banned in ALGS, but for pubs and ranked, it is all good, according to the developer team. So yeah, basically it gives you a scroll wheel on your controller. I'll also get into my binds and all that bullshit, but yeah. I have a settings video on my channel. If you want to see that, I'll link it. Forgot to mention this. I'm going to show you how to add a velocity counter to your game with your fucking launch commands. So I'll just put them in the description. You copy paste them. I'll screenshot what the page looks like and I'll put it on screen right now. But yeah, I'm going to use the velocity meter, top left, a lot when I'm talking about what I'm doing on my screen. Okay, the most basic tech in the game is the slide jump. You're going to slide and jump. Give it a little second before you hit the jump, and the longer you're in the air, the faster you go. So you can practice these by running in straight lines, just doing them off cooldown. Once you're airborne, you can switch weapons. It doesn't slow you down. None of that matters. Hit the ground, hit a couple B-hops, spam jump, whatever. But yeah, slide jumping is like the core of every movement tech. And then other than slide jumping, you have jumping into a slide. So it's literally the opposite. You jump and hold crouch, and you slide when you hit the ground. You're going to use this a lot too, because you can't always slide jump off cooldown. If you slide jump too fast, you'll get what's called a dead slide. Usually people bitch and say it's a server, but it's just shitty timing for the most part, or you got shot when you tried to do something. Kind of already went over that. But yeah, jumping into a slide also important. This is just showing you the implications of what happens when you slide for too long. If you look at the velocity that we were talking about, you slow down the longer your ass is on the ground, so you don't want to scrape your ass on the floor. Kind of makes sense that you would slow down if you do that. Now we're going to show you what it looks like when you're airborne. So this is the most extreme example I could give, right? You're jumping from the sky and you're just constantly moving faster. But yeah, the longer you're in the air, the faster you move, because if you jump, you're falling down still. So just look at the velocity meter when you jump off of anything, you're going quicker. Trying to make you hit the ground as fast as possible. Yeah, now we're going to get into what's called edge boosting. So anytime you jump, just hold crouch if you're going to hit a ledge or a corner or anything like that, and you'll fly off of it. Shit's OP. So you're just going to jump, hold crouch, fly off of it. You can do this on fucking anything in the game. It's really OP. Just get a free speed boost out of nowhere. Yep, just jump, hold crouch, fly off it. Can combo like other movement shit with it. We'll get into all the shit that looks like nerdy here, but That's an edge boost. It's all about combining this shit. That's what makes it good. Because the tech is here for everyone to use, but most people suck at the game, so they're not good at using the tech. If some of this shit is like hard for you right away, you should probably just put more hours in the game. Familiarize yourself with the movement system. Yeah, that shit's really important. Because you're not going to pull up to Apex from any other game and be good. It's like the hardest game ever, so doesn't matter what your FPS background is, you gotta put hours into Apex to be good at Apex. No aim training, like, there's literally no shortcut to getting good at this game except for playing this game. And there's no shortcut to getting good at moving in this game except for moving in this game. So, if there's like a piece of tech in this video later on that's like really difficult for you to learn, it's probably because you're not good enough to learn it yet. So, just put in the hours. Don't like spam this shit in a fight if you're not good enough to do it. Because it's just going to get you killed and it's just going to stunt your growth. And it's all about getting in as many fights per hour as possible, because that's how you get better. Is fight more than everyone else in the same amount of time, because we all have 24 hours in a day. And if you fight a fucking million times in a day and someone else is running, playing zone, fucking trying to win and shit, they're not going to get better at the rate that you are. So be conscious of your improvement, clip your deaths, all that shit's important. But let's get back into it. Okay, now we're getting into wall jumping. This is like one of the easier things to learn. Basically, you slide jump at the wall, and when you hit the wall, you're going to jump and hold a movement bind in the direction that you're trying to go. So if you're going to go to the right, you're going to hold your stick to the right, or if you're on keyboard, you're going to press D. Make sure you do not hold W while you do this, because it will try to mantle the wall. That's the simplest way. Then you can do them on like static walls too. You don't need to slide jump into them. Just jump into them. Examples of that. Shit's easy as fuck. But a lot of shit builds on top of this, so this is for a short wall. For a short wall, you have to make sure you use a movement bind that isn't W. So for these, I'm just going to the right. That's what happens if you use W. This is what happens if you use W. It'll try to climb it. And that's what happens when you do it right. So shit's simple as fuck. Just look at the controller at the top. Do it again right here. Yeah. Alright, now we're getting into arguably the most valuable tech in the game. You can like always do this shit. Flat ground doesn't matter. Literally does not matter when or what character you're on. You can always tap strafe. Basically, you slide jump in a direction and you turn your camera and do what's equivalent to a W input. And if you use the Steam controller config, that shit has a built-in macro just like a scroll wheel. So, just gonna slide, jump, turn, hit that button. Just look at the controller at the top if you need like better reference, but yeah, a lot of shit is built on top of this. And it'll make your life way easier. You can cut corners with it to avoid taking damage. You can wall jump, tap strafe out of it. All that shit's up to you. Super glide, sideways, all that shit. Here's examples of wall jumping into a tab strafe. You can get over walls with it so you don't have to mantle. Shit's OP. Alright, now we're getting into the nerd shit. We're super gliding, yay. Okay, so basically you're gonna climb. At the top of your climb, gonna hold crouch and jump. And a directional bind. I like to do them sideways and then tap straight forward. I think those are the easiest to learn. I'll show you a couple spots that are good to practice at. This spot's really good for learning them sideways. I feel like once you can do them sideways, doing them forward is really easy, but it's all about like not taking damage, and if you do them forward, you can kind of get beamed by people that are ready for it. You don't want to do like straight at somebody, so I do these ones. Mantle, do them sideways, yeah, really easy. Actually, it's not really easy, it's probably the hardest shit in the game, but when you get good at it, it's like not as hard as people talk about it. Shit is like way, way, way easier than people say it is, they just suck at the game. Get a mantle, hold a directional bind. Top of the mantle, you are going to hold crouch and jump. But yeah, this spot's really good for practicing because it's got a lot of different like heights and shit. And once you're good at these, you can hit them like 9 out of 10 times. It's like about the rate I'm at. There are a lot of people that are good at this. Just like a side note about super gliding and shit, there's like no shortcut to learn this fast. You literally just have to get in the range for like an hour and just keep practicing until you hit your first one. Maybe shadowplay it, put on a controller overlay just to see if you're getting close to it. Okay, I think it's time to cut this one short. It's run on for a really long time. I definitely have plans of making more of these regardless of how the ratings do on this shit. I'm not really tripping over that. But I guess this is a good time to like thank you guys formally for this support. All the recent support's like really cool to see. My channel is kind of funnily doing well, but yeah, that's besides the point. This is little combination shit that I practice. Hopefully you're equipped with all the skills you need to practice this shit on your own in your free time. Literally whenever I don't want to play the game, I'm just in the firing range like jumping around like a dumbass, but yeah, thanks again for all the support. Ignore whatever's going in on the background or going on in the background of these clips. They're all from like different days and shit, but yeah, thanks for the support again. Like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit. Show the shit to your friends, but thanks for kicking it, boys. Peace.
I'm safe to res. I'm safe to res back here. Jay, did you res him? No, you look kind of resable. I have 7 cells.
It's like really nothing that, you know, you can get in the way of. You know, people want to be willfully irrational. When Hippasus discovered that numbers could be irrational, they hung him. The Pythagoreans allegedly made him walk the plank because, you know, they numbers were like holy to them, and they were like God.
No.
And it's worth a listen, run. I'm like, why'd you crying, mama? You know I kill a few shotters. They know I was a red dollars. Yeah, they say I was a real rocker. Shaking my head like a flocker. They look like touch on spot us. I feel like I hit the lotto, cause I'm a winner like Ronda. They be trying to kick through the side though. Expected that it was no one. Like, how do I know you ain't telling a lie though? Playing Russian roulette like Rihanna.
Oh my god, I didn't even hear you behind me. No.